Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and today we are doing a Game Week 19 team selection video where we're going to look at how I'm going to set up for this very, very crazy game week. You know, will there be hits taken? Will there be free hits taken? You know, what on earth are we all going to do? Obviously, no Liverpool is a huge, huge thing, so loads to really talk about and think about over the next couple of days. As you can see, it is Christmas Eve, so I have fully committed to the Christmas spirit, I suppose. And yeah, one more thing, guys. This will be part one of 2 videos uploaded today, and I'll speak a little bit about that a little bit later on in the video. But guys, if you wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing before we do anything else, that would be absolutely amazing. But without further ado, let's have a look at my scores from Game Week 18. So, Game Week 18 was good, actually, really good. I took a -4 to get Tomiyasu and Emil Smith-Rowe in, and you know what? Maybe there was a lot of luck for me in this game week, particularly with Tomiyasu. You know, Arsenal obviously conceded late on in the game, but Tomiyasu was actually withdrawn, substituted off before Arsenal conceded, so he managed to get a clean sheet there. In many other ways, you know, maybe I got a bit lucky. Emil Smith-Rowe comes off the bench and scores, although I don't know if you call that lucky anymore. Emil Smith-Rowe is just inevitable at this point. Every game he seems to score. He is quite crazy. Huge scores from players like Cancelo. The whole defence really absolutely amazing. Sterling got a goal, you know, right at the last minute against Newcastle, which was really fantastic. And even though Salah, captain, blanked, and even though I only played with 10 men, somehow ended up getting a really good score and a good green arrow as well. So it kind of seemed like, against all odds, we managed to pull off a really good score and a really nice rank increase. And I think that goes to show that you don't need strikers in this game. Forwards are they're just nothing anymore, are they? And the fact that, you know, I managed to get a good score with literally 0 forwards in my team, because Broja, of course, was there for the culture only and didn't play. 0 forwards, and you can still get amazing scores. Forwards are a thing of the past. You know, forwards are just dead. We don't even need to be thinking about forwards anymore. Just forget forwards exist. There's no point in them, really, is there, at the moment, guys? You don't need them to get a good score. So there we go, guys. I was really happy with that. Really, really happy with that. You know, to have a captain blank and to have 10 men and to have a score like that. A little bit fortunate. But, you know, we'll take every bit of luck we can get, won't we? So there you go, guys. That's Game Week 18. But as you know, Game Week 19 is going to cause a little bit of a struggle. So let me show you where I am in terms of Game Week 19. So 1 free transfer, 1.2 million in the bank. Let me just show you what I've got. I'm just going to show you what I've got. And guys, let me tell you, this is not a free hit team. This is not a free hit team. This is what I've got right now. We will be talking about free hits in part 2 of this video, you know, which I'll be releasing a little bit later on. But for now, we're just going to have a look at my team, and then we're going to kind of discuss where we go from there. You know, how we can deal with this. Do we need a free hit? Do we need to not use a free hit? Are there different options for me here? What's the best way forward? We're going to talk about that. So here we have Ramsdale in goal to start off with. One of the players I'm actually, you know, really happy with. I'm sure a lot of you guys are really happy with Ramsdale as well. He's just flying, isn't he, in terms of FPL assets, indeed. And he's got this Norwich game away, which we really expect Arsenal to keep a clean sheet in. Now, what I will say on Arsenal is that there are murmurings that this game could potentially be called off. We've kind of seen already that Norwich are you know, testing a lot of players at the moment, and they're kind of waiting results. They're waiting PCR results to get confirmation, and it could be that they don't have enough players, and that game may get called off as well. So just wanted to warn you guys, by the time this video comes out and you watch this video, maybe you're watching this video on Boxing Day, there may be more cancellations, but I can only tell you what I know right now, and that is that this game may not go ahead. It's at risk. So we'll see what happens there. If this game does not go ahead, this Arsenal game does not go ahead, then I'm going to need a free hit. I'm definitely going to need a free hit. But we'll continue on anyway, guys. We've got Cancelo against Leicester. Really, really impressive performance last game week. We've been waiting for a Cancelo goal for a while, haven't we? He takes so many shots. It was only a matter of time before he was going to score and a nice banging goal. And that's exactly what he's done. He's finally scored. Amazing. Can he score some more goals against Leicester? We know about Leicester's defence. Leicester are pretty weak in defence at the moment, and they've still got a few injuries and stuff like that at the moment. So it's not looking too good in terms of Leicester's defence. But Leicester's attack, I don't think is too bad, actually. And I guess it's going to kind of depend on, you know, the fitness of some of their players. Obviously, they played midweek as well. I don't know how are Leicester going to fare against this Man City team. I think there should be a clean sheet from Man City, and I think Man City should score a few goals as well. So expect big things from Man City. Man City are one of the big teams to kind of talk about, to think about, to target for this game week. That's for sure. We've got Reece James here against Aston Villa away. Is this a good fixture or a bad fixture? I can't really tell. What's the situation at Aston Villa right now? They're still kind of recovering, I guess, from a COVID outbreak there. So are they going to be at full strength? Probably not. They may have to potentially play a few youth players. Chelsea obviously rotated heavily in the midweek, so a lot of their players will be rested and ready to go. I know they have a couple of COVID problems and injury problems at Chelsea at the moment, but certainly not enough to decimate them, and I think they're mostly okay. Again, this is a game where I kind of expected this would probably be the most likely game to be called off this game week, but it hasn't. So far, it seems like this game's going to go ahead, which is kind of surprising. If you had to tell me that one game was going to get called off, it would have been this one. So I don't know. But Reece James, anyway, really, really great FPL asset. We're hoping that Chelsea are going to get back to their clean sheet ways. We've kind of saw the beginning of that last game week. Finally, some Reece James points. We've been waiting for them for a while. And, he's always good for attacking contributions as well. We saw that last game week. He was a real threat, taking shots, and being creative as well. So, yeah, points galore for James. I think we're going to be back into the points with James. Alonso, similar thing. Is this going to be a clean sheet? I don't know. This kind of seems like not an easy game. To be doubled up on a Chelsea defence right now is not ideal, but it's not too bad. I just don't know what Chelsea team are going to turn up. I mean, the last game week, obviously, they played Wolves, so, that's kind of an easy clean sheet in a way. Are a team like Aston Villa actually going to cause them a little bit more difficulty? I don't know, potentially there. So I'm not too happy with double Chelsea defence at the moment, but we may not have a choice. Many of us are just kind of lumped with the players that we've got, really, aren't we? But Alonso, again, really, really attacking player. He genuinely thinks he's a striker, and he's always good for some attacking returns as well. It just kind of depends. How good are Aston Villa going to be defensively, offensively? This is not a fixture I'd want to target ideally, but it's kind of where we're at. We don't really have a choice. If all games were to go ahead, I probably would be benching Alonso right now, to be honest. And speaking of benchings, we've got Tomiyasu as our final and fourth defender to use, and we don't really fully know the Tomiyasu situation. Now, from what I know in terms of his injury, is that he was taken off the field, because he felt some muscle fatigue. He didn't feel 100%, so he was taken off in that game against Leeds as a kind of a precautionary measure, and that he isn't actually injured, but just because he's played so many minutes of football this season, he is getting a bit of muscle fatigue, and he did need to be withdrawn from that game, just as a precaution to make sure he doesn't, we don't make things worse, kind of thing. Since then, he hasn't been pictured training, which is concerning. Although these training pictures were from yesterday, so I don't know. There's still time. I still kind of want to wait and find out and see what's going on here and get some clarity, because Norwich is a really good game for Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is a really good, more offensive fullback than you probably would think. Actually gets quite a large number of attacking actions in terms of potential assists, key passes, taking on shots. He does do a little bit of that, which is really, really nice to see. It's just going to be a case of if he is available. Is he going to be rested for one more game? He was rested in the midweek game, but that was kind of to be expected. Is he going to come back into the team against Norwich? I don't think Tomiyasu will be left out of the team for too long, because he has been genuinely one of Arsenal's best players, and I don't know. I feel like Cedric is not it's not a great backup, really. Tomiyasu is a really important player, so if he's available, I imagine he will play. Maybe he'll be rested against this Norwich game. If Arsenal are really confident they can beat Norwich, which, to be fair, they should be, maybe Tomiyasu is rested for that one Premier League game with the view to bring him back in the more tricky game against Wolves. So that's kind of my view on Tomiyasu. Until we get more information, that's all I can really say on that one. In midfield, we've got Salah, but we can't play him because he's not playing. So he is right there. He's in the team, in the starting 11 for me, pretty much for the culture at the moment, because he can't play. There is no game. The Liverpool versus Leeds game has been called off, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are really, really panicking about this, really, really worried about this. I imagine most of you guys are on triple Liverpool right now. And for those of you who aren't on triple Liverpool right now, you're probably feeling quite happy, actually, to be fair, because this has decimated a lot of us. Obviously I've got Jota and Trent as well, who you're going to see on my bench in a minute. It's difficult. No Salah. No Salah this game week. What do we do with him? Do we transfer him out? With AFCON as well, he's only got 2 more fixtures before he jets off to AFCON, and then he potentially misses 3 more games after that. He'll miss a minimum of 2 more Premier League games and potentially 1 more as well. So what we've got here with Salah is he blanks this game week. He plays Leicester next game week. He plays Chelsea the following game week, which isn't even a good fixture. And then after that, he misses 2, potentially 3 games. So over the space of 6 game weeks, we've really only got Salah for 2 of them. Salah's only available for 2 out of the next 6 game weeks, 5/6 game weeks. And one of those 2 games that he is available for is against Chelsea. So a lot of people find themselves in a real dilemma. Can we sell Salah to someone else? I think it's a viable tactic. I think, the only real game that you will be worried about is that Leicester game. You'll be worried about not owning Salah for that Leicester game, but aside from that, there's nothing really too much to worry about as far as that's concerned. So if you think you can tank that Leicester game, then I'm not against selling Salah. I'm really not against it, and it's something I'm strongly considering doing right now. It really has got to that. Those of you worried, Salah is obviously increased in price a lot. You might lose some team value. Honestly, because of the amount of games that Salah is going to be missing, he will drop in value. So many people will be selling Salah, maybe not right now, but by the time it gets to Salah's 3 consecutive blanks or 2 consecutive blanks at a minimum, when he jets off to the African Cup of Nations, a lot of people are going to sell Salah, and his price is going to drop anyway. A lot of people are going to do some rejig their teams a lot, and we will see Salah sold by a lot of people. And I imagine right now, if you bought Salah at 12.5, you can sell him for 12.8. I imagine that he will drop in price back down to about 12.9 by the time you'd want to bring him back in. So really, you're really only looking at losing about 0.1 in team value, which is nothing at all when you get to use a lot of money on the rest of your team there. So yeah, really something to consider, guys. I don't want anyone to be too put off by selling Salah. It is viable. I'm not saying it's the right move, but it is viable. It's just that next game week 20 against Leicester, that is potentially worrying us a little bit there. But anyway, guys, next player is Raheem Sterling. Got his goal. He got his goal last week. We were really happy about that. Again, this game, I'm really, really hoping that he's going to start. I really hope that Phil Foden and Jack Grealish are still on the naughty step, on Santa's naughty list, and are not going to be playing in this game. Obviously they were removed from the starting lineup last game week for disciplinary reasons. Are they going to be out of the starting 11 again this game week? And if so, does that mean that Sterling is nailed on to start? I really, really hope Sterling's going to start. I'm always really excited about Sterling. I think he's a great FPL asset to own, and I think Leicester could concede a fair few goals in this game. And if you're going to go for a Manchester City attacker, it's really difficult to say which one is the right one to go for. But Sterling certainly has to be part of the conversation in terms of what Manchester City attacker you want in this game, right? He has to be. Like you're probably not going to want to take a risk on Foden or Grealish because of the potential of them missing out through disciplinary reasons. Mahrez is always a rotation risk. Jesus is a rotation risk as well. Bernardo Silva's playing deeper. Gundogan's a real rotation risk. Sterling, yes, he is a rotation risk, but he's probably less of a rotation risk than some of the other players. So really, I'm just thinking Sterling and De Bruyne are probably the Manchester City players you want in this game, to be honest. So yeah, if he starts, I'll be really confident of Sterling getting some attacking contributions in this game. That's all I'll say on that one. We've got Jared Bowen. Really, really excited by Jared Bowen in this run of fixtures. I really am. I think he's going to bang. This is the time I've been waiting for Jared Bowen to truly come into himself. I say come into himself. He's already done so much this season for West Ham in terms of goal scoring and being creative as well. He's been probably, arguably one of their best players. Definitely one of their best players. But in terms of FPL assets, I think he's been their best FPL asset. Antonio's let us down a lot over the last 16 game weeks. Bowen has been the best FPL asset for sure in terms of West Ham. So yeah, this is going to be a really good time for him to start getting some points, starting with a nice home game against Southampton. So happy with that. Bowen may even potentially play as a striker, as he did in the League Cup in the midweek, where he scored a goal in the League Cup whilst playing as a striker. Really good goal as well, guys. I would advise you guys to go check that out. It's a really nice goal. So yeah, really nice that, and then we'll finish off the midfield with Emil Smith-Rowe. Is he going to start? I don't know. Nobody knows. How do you fit all of these players into the Arsenal starting 11? It's a mystery. It really is a mystery. It's just one of those things where I'm kind of nervous about Smith-Rowe, whether he's going to start or not, which kind of pushes me towards a free hit. When we're talking about Tomiyasu and Smith-Rowe, both potential rotations there. Alonso played 90 minutes midweek. Sterling is technically a rotation risk as well there. So yeah, when Emil Smith-Rowe plays, he scores goals, which is amazing. But how many minutes is he going to get, if any? That is the worry there, really, isn't it? Who's gonna drop out and make room for Smith-Rowe? I don't know. It's so hard to say. I mean, part of me says Emil Smith-Rowe's got to come back into this Arsenal team eventually, and he will. Smith-Rowe will be back in this Arsenal team at some point. I just don't know when. It's risky. It's risky going into a game week where we're kind of so thin already, thinking, is Smith-Rowe going to play or not? We are so thin. We can't afford him to be benched, really, can we? So up front, anyway, guys, we have got Antonio again. We don't know if he's going to be playing or not. We know he had COVID, or we suspect that he had COVID anyway, and he was asymptomatic. It wasn't affecting him, and we assume that he is going to be ready for the weekend, but is he? We don't know. If he did have COVID, assuming that he did have COVID, when did he get COVID? Is he out of his 7-day isolation period? Obviously, the manager says he is asymptomatic, but is he actually not feeling 100%? Even if he is feeling 100%, if he has had COVID, has he been able to train? And Antonio is an injury risk at the best of times. And Antonio that hasn't trained, or has just been, in bed or resting, is worrisome. So many mysteries and question marks around Antonio right now. We need to see a training picture, really, to have any confidence in this one. I don't know what's going on here. Nobody knows. It's a mystery. This is just where we're at in FPL right now, where it's a total mystery whether Antonio is actually going to be available for Sunday's game or not. We don't know. We hope he's available, I guess. But then I guess if you're a Bowen owner, maybe you don't want Antonio to be available because you want Bowen to play as the central striker. I can't tell you any more than that, guys. It's pretty much where we're at with pretty much every single player at the moment. We don't know. There's so much mystery in FPL right now, which kind of adds to the excitement, but also adds to the fear of everything going wrong, right? And finally, we've got Broja, who, although it's a difficult fixture against West Ham, you feel like if Southampton are going to score, Broja is a prime candidate to get a goal. So if you do think Southampton will score in that game, who else is it going to be, really? So yeah, Armando Broja in great form. It's a shame we haven't been able to see him play too much football recently. It seems like it's forever since we last got to witness the Broja masterclass against Crystal Palace. It feels like so long ago. But, a really good pick, a fantastic pick, and a player I really recommend be in everyone's FPL squads right now. I really just, for 5.1 million, he's just the perfect backup option for situations like this, basically, that gives you a little bit of confidence. So anyway, guys, let's bring up the bench. We've got Trent, Jota and Dennis there, obviously Foster as well. None of those players are available to play, so they have to sit there and do nothing. And basically, you can look at this team and you can say, well, it may survive. It may survive this blank game week without a free hit. It may survive, but it may not survive. There's a lot of mysteries. Tomiyasu, Smith-Rowe, Antonio, maybe Sterling, maybe Alonso. Sterling and Alonso I'm more confident in, but Tomiyasu, Smith-Rowe and Antonio are a real rotation risk. What if another game gets cancelled? I mean, if another game gets cancelled, then I am going to have to free hit. If I lose another player, I will free hit. But right now, I'm looking at my team and thinking, I could survive this with a transfer or a -4. Now, there's one transfer move that I have got my eye on. So if I was not to free hit, this is the transfer move that I'm really, really looking at. So let's bring it up on screen. And that is Salah out and Son in. It's a move I really like because we get Son. And we know Spurs have got a lot of fixtures that need to be rescheduled. So we know Spurs are going to get a lot of double game weeks. Son is going to be really good for those double game weeks, isn't he? We've spoken a lot, to be fair, about Son this week, about how Son is probably the player to target for game week 19. He's kind of in many ways target number one for game week 19 and beyond, because really good fixtures in the immediate term. Then double game weeks definitely coming up at some point. We're hoping game week 22 will be the first of Spurs' double game weeks, which is really nice, and they'll have a good double game week there. And, we're looking potentially at captaining Son in games like, in game weeks like this, in game weeks like the double game week. So yeah, a really good captain option where Salah is maybe unavailable in a lot of these games in the over the next 5-6 game weeks. Son is a really good captain option, and he seems to be playing quite well, really. When we have seen him recently, under Conte, we weren't sure if it was going to be Son or Kane that thrives. Kane just seems to be still not quite there, still missing chances. It's just not quite right still, whereby Son I think is looking a little bit better really at the moment, which is a shame because I was backing Kane heavily before and it didn't pay off, but Son is looking a lot nicer, to be fair. So Son is the target, and Salah really is either Salah or Sterling to leave my team to get Son in, right? And I mean, I'm not going to take out Sterling because he's one of my few players who actually has is actually available to play in this game week. So I'd want to keep on to Sterling. So yeah, this is kind of what my team would look like if I was not to free hit. I would maybe look at making one more transfer, maybe depending on if we get any more news on Tomiyasu or Antonio. I would consider taking Tomiyasu out and bringing in maybe even reversing the transfer and bringing back something like Lamptey. No, I probably wouldn't do that. I would probably bring in like Reguilon. Reguilon would be a good pick to bring in for Tomiyasu, I think. Again, because the Spurs are good fixtures and double game weeks coming up. Reguilon might be quite nice to have, although I do have a little bit of concern about Sessegnon coming into the team. Ben Davies, another player, is quite interesting. Has a lot of license to get forward from that left centre back position as well. So yeah, he'd be a consideration. And then if I was to take out Antonio, I would be kind of lost, and maybe that would be a sign. If I got into a position where I had to remove Antonio, I have no clue who I would bring in. I can't afford Ronaldo without taking a -8. So maybe I'd take a -4. If everything looked pretty good, I'd maybe take a -4. But obviously, there is a temptation to free hit, which will be part 2 of this video. But there we go. Quickly on captains. I'm kind of in two minds in captains at the moment. If I was to make this transfer, I'd probably go for Son as the captain, and then we'd maybe have like Cancelo as a sturdy backup captain, I suppose. But I would also consider Sterling as a captain. I would also consider Bowen as a captain. But I think I'd lean towards Son or Cancelo for the captain. Currently leaning Son, but that could very well change. But there we go. That's what my team looks like without a free hit. Stay tuned for part 2, where I will show you what my team will look like with a free hit. These decisions will be left to the last second for me. I'm not going to rush these decisions at all. There's no point rushing these decisions. I'm going to take my time with this one. I'm going to make the final decision on deadline day. So hopefully you guys will join me on stream there. But yeah, this is a possibility of what my team might look like come deadline. Only a possibility. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy what you saw today, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed so you have got you're ready for the free hit part of this video, where I'm going to show you how I would line up if I were to free hit. If and when I press the free hit button, what would my team look like based on current information? That's going to be coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If this is the last video you watch from me before Christmas, Merry Christmas. And aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.